Thanks for being here. Let's begin. We'll begin with the image of a sphere, a perfectly round sphere, whose center is in the diaphragm, the solar plexus. And let that sphere grow large enough to reach your collarbone, your pubic bone. But just in that act of bringing an image into connection with your breath, the shape of our awareness might shift. The shape of our feeling awareness is quite malleable. So let's just keep playing with this. Let's switch the cross of our legs. And leaning pretty well into the right sit bone and the right hand. Inhale, stretch the left arm up away from the left sit bone. Now, adjust the head and the neck until your Ujjayi breath sounds easier to you. For several of us, this is likely a slight shift of the head back. But use the Ujjayi sound to decide where the position of the head might be. Inhale, come upright. We'll cross the right knee over the left knee pile. We'll bring the left elbow out in front to activate all these sides of rib muscles. Right. So inhaling now into the low ribs, the mid ribs, the armpit, under the collar. Exhale, glide the shoulder down. Reach the elbow forward. And perhaps all that we just felt stretching a moment ago starts to engage. Take the right palm to the inner left elbow. Exhaling, take the shoulder down, press palm into elbow, elbow into palm. Getting the entire left side of the abdominal and rib cage area to light up. So not just the chest, getting the muscles in front of the shoulder blade to light up, the side of the ribs, almost down to the lowest ribs, diaphragm. There's abs all the way down there. There it is. Now that whole left side of body just starts to wrap and engage toward the navel. And release. We'll switch the cross of legs. So first, just taking a cross-legged position. We'll get to the knee pile in a moment. Let all your weight shift into the left sit bone and the left hand. Inhale, stretch the right arm away from the right sit bone. And then listen to your Ujjayi breath. It might be made easier sounding by adjusting the head, and it might be backward. It might be just relaxing the jaw. But let the sound of your breath becoming easy, soft, help you learn where the placement of the head might be for today. When we inhale, come up, we'll take the left knee over the right for knee pile. And I'm suggesting that today, instead of feeling for a release necessarily in the right shoulder, that we can feel for all of this side of rib, armpit, side of rib, all the way down to the abdominal engagement. So let's try it out. We've got the right elbow in front of the shoulder. Inhale into those right side ribs. And then exhaling, the shoulder down. So I can play like I'm pulling the arm down, reaching the elbow forward. So that reaching the elbow forward should get the first little bit of those armpit muscles, those serratus, to turn on. Use the left hand to the inner elbow, inhaling. And exhale, pulling the shoulder down, the blade down. Push in, elbow to palm. Push palm into elbow. And we keep walking that engagement as low down the right side of the torso as we can. And release. All right, Baddha Konasana. I'm doing both arms. Now, Baddha Konasana. Ooh, this should be wild. So when we do both arms, just plan right now, we can image this. If straight ahead, you can see straight ahead, And then from that trajectory straight ahead of you, could you just kind of image something maybe 45 degrees off to the right, something 45 degrees off to the left? I don't anticipate we'll pass those points, but it's just nice to have a sense of 45 off forward and 45 off forward. So both elbows shoulder height. Inhaling into the sides of both parts of your rib cage, the left side, the right side. And now exhale, take both shoulders down, both shoulder blades down. And as you're reaching the elbows forward, feel that the two sides of your torso are starting to seal up and engage through the front side. So from armpit to hip, we're engaging. And from armpit to hip toward the navel, we're engaging. So that entire front side of body is getting really sealed up, corseted, embraced. Now, with this engagement, so keep all this abdominal stuff percolating, I'm going to turn a little bit toward our right. We don't need to go past that 45 place. In fact, we may not even get up to it. So to get that front side of the body, the side of the body to engage, I almost imagine I'm squeezing and hugging something up with my forearms. And we can unwind to center, which really isn't a release that much. And for the next couple of breaths, we'll turn slightly to our left. And when we come back centrally, now relax all the arm, all the chest muscle, all the armpit muscle. Deep breath. Let's check out dolphin. So we'll set up elbows and knees. And just so you know in advance, I'll be talking us through taking one leg off the ground. I'll be talking us through taking one arm off the ground and maybe together. So if you plan on that, we set up with the forearms out in front in parallel. And so here in the setup, you're getting that whole front side of the torso from armpit to hip toward the navel, getting all of that stuff engaged as we inhale into those working muscles, those serratus, armpit, chest, and those little diagonal abdominals. And then exhaling, press the knees off the ground. We enter dolphin. So when I press the knees up, it's to go in with those chest and oblique and serratus engaged. If you lost them, reset up. These will contribute to how we balance on 3 or 2 limbs. So let's start with the arm limb, and this is only if you're taking an arm limb away from the ground. And you know if you're not. So we'll start by shifting weight into the right arm to take the left limb away from the ground. And now if you're taking the legs away from the ground, we'll take the right leg away from the ground. So we're taking away the left arm, the right leg. And you'll know if you're having to leave the arm down. There you go. Using a little fingertip touch is a really nice way to get into that wiggly place. There you go. And we'll set the right leg down, the left arm down. If you need a rest, that's perfectly fine. We'll just re-enter when you can. To switch over to the other side, shift weight into your left arm. We'll take the weight away from we'll take the right limb, the right arm away from the ground. And the left leg. When you set the foot down, when you set the arm down, pause in dolphin and feel that sphere of breath moving under the armpit muscles, the chest muscles. And we'll set the knees down to rest. So what I'm about to describe is nothing like complex. It's just that we probably have not set this up in a while, or if ever. And it will be downward dog with a foot on the wall. But let me just say, it's not downward dog on the wall with a foot on the wall. We are working just downward dog with one foot up the wall. The wall will provide us a little touch and a little bit of support. If you have that area of wall space, use it, and if you don't, it's perfectly fine. This will work with or without a wall. But we're pressing into downward dog. I think I take a distance from the wall. It's just a couple inches. My feet are a couple or a few inches away from the wall. And take these few moments in downward dog to simply feel that sphere of breath encompassing and contacting and undulating all of those ribs, especially the mid ribs. So when we engage the the chest, the armpit muscles, and the abdominals on the front side of the body. This is the area into which we might stifle breathing. We might contain or brace or not feel our breath right under the chest wall, right under the breast, right at and above the diaphragm area. So I want you to feel that these muscles engage and breathe. And we'll lift the right foot up and use the wall, its support, it's there. And here's our move for today in this downward dog. It's sending that right thigh away from your ribs, your front ribs. Feel the thigh, feel the entire right leg moving, lifting, lengthening away from those front ribs. I'm breathing into the armpit and the chest wall and the breast area. And feel those breaths getting under the shoulder blade. It's a reach. Really energetic through the leg. It's wonderful. Let's switch sides. We'll set the right foot down. And we'll take the left leg up. The wall's there for support so that you can keep reaching, you can keep sensing. The leg doesn't droop down. We don't have to lose that fascial, that structural connection from front of left leg to front of torso. Then we'll set the left foot down and we'll rest out of downward dog. Okay, and that's really all the abs I want to do today. Let's have a stand at the top of our mat. We'll do some suns. Inhale, reach arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Inhale, left foot back, lunge. We'll set the knee down. So that as we draw the arms up, we're going to keep playing with that line, with that connection. This time our left leg is fixed to the ground. So now lift and stretch the ribs away from that left thigh. That's it, that's it, that's it. Good. And if it's convenient to image that sphere of augmenting and diminishing size, somewhere about the solar plexus area of your torso, that may help you feel the shape of your breath going to the sides and the back as well as the front of the body. I suspect the backside of the ribs get the short shrift some of the time. We'll set the hands down, inhaling. And exhale, we'll step the foot back, lowering from plank to ground. So now here comes Cobra, exact same move. Reach back through the legs. Inhale, draw the chest away from the thigh. Those rib muscles, they're now stretched. Those chest muscles, they're now stretched. Exhale, lowering down, reset the hands under the chest and press back, downward dog. If you're feeling for that wrap of shoulder, that is engagement of those armpit muscles, of those diagonal abdominals. And lengthening the lap, the thighs, away from those armpit ribs. There you go. Yes, stretch for it. It is a wonderful thing to breathe these lungs free. That the heart can be at ease between these, nestled between these free lungs. It's uncrowded lungs. Inhale, step the left foot forward, lunge, setting the right knee down, reaching the arms up. Here too, the leg is fixed. So feeling these mid ribs, just right around the breast and the chest area. Breathing these ribs away from the right thigh. Set the hands down, exhale, the right foot forward, folding. Inhale, stand, reach arms overhead. And exhaling, hands to heart. Again, inhale, reaching up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, stepping right foot back, lunge. Set hands down, exhale, step left foot back, lower, plank to ground. Inhale, chest away from thighs. Exhale, lower, downward dog. The chest muscles engage. The chest muscles and the armpit muscles chime in as we press back. That whole front side of body just pucker, floats our torso off the ground. Inhale, the right foot forward, lunge, the left knee down, arms reach up. We'll set the hands down, exhaling the left foot forward, fold. Inhale, stand, reaching the arms up. And if it feels all right, start to reach back. So the mid-back gets a little love. That upper chest starts to get that little bit of back bend stretch. Exhaling, hands to heart. Now some extras. Cheer pose. Inhale, bend knees, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold, softening eyeballs in the sockets, the neck. Monkey, inhale, use the hands to move the chest away from the lap. I use just some pressure on the ground or the shins. And we'll set the hands down. Exhale, step or lightly jump back. Feet, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. I never let those chest muscles go, and you don't have to. They're engaged as we're moving. Exhale, downward dog, still chest muscles engaged. Warrior one, inhale the right foot forward. Now I'll be using a strap. Not everyone needs one. But moving into archer, left elbow up, right elbow down. Archer, warrior one. Left, up, right, down. So you don't have to reach maximally for maximum sensation, but you can reach to feel more of body, more of its interconnectedness. You can feel that left chest wall expanding away from the left thigh. There you go. That's it. That's it. So staying fairly energetic, feeling full through that left shoulder, that left arm, giving it some trajectory, some upward, reaching up trajectory. Enhancing our sense of inner connectedness. The sense of us being connected to us all throughout our body. So reach to enhance that sense of inner connectedness. And that might be a very, very subtle feeling sensation. Now we'll release the arms from archer. Twisting warrior. So to move into this, just my preference, this is just how I'll play today, is engaging all of this left armpit, left chest, left, all these diagonal abs, engaging them, turning that 45 and touching the left elbow to the right thigh. I mean, sure, you can just kind of flop swing that elbow over there. That would work too. We have these wonderful, structurally gorgeous bits of musculature that can turn us, spiral us. So I'm going to play with that. So when I do that, I feel very structured and supported on the left side of the ribs, the left shoulder. In fact, my spine feels better. Let's see how it feels for you. And we'll move for interlock. So exhaling, the left armpit next to the thigh, the right hand behind the back. Keeping that left leg active, inhale, feel the left rib side lengthening away from that left thigh bone. Yeah, keep that left leg really active. Let's take one more breath. I think we can do this, right? Feeling that left side, chest ribs lengthening away from that left leg. There you go. There it is. Getting some move there. Then release, inhale, unwind, hands under shoulders. Exhale, chaturanga. So I feel the chest muscles as I'm lowering. Inhale, upward dog. I'm still engaging them. They're just stretching as I'm engaged. Stretched and engaged. Exhale, downward dog. So it's really important to learn how to engage our musculature, our fabric in all sorts of shapes and lengths. So release isn't just lengthen. Lengthen isn't flaccid necessarily. I could be long and very, very engaged. I can be stretched and very, very active. Let's do the warrior one on the other side. Inhale, left foot forward. Let's start by just reaching the arms up, warrior one first. You can get that sense of the ribs, the thigh, all that distance between the ribs and the thigh. That feeling of space, but interconnected space. Interconnected space. Space doesn't presume a disjointedness. In our body, we connect through the space. We deepen through the space. Archer, right elbow up, left elbow down. Releasing the hands, the strap, whatever you got. We're moving into twisting warrior. I'm going to pause mid-transition just to feel this right elbow kind of embracing, tweezing, engaging this whole right side chest, right side armpit. Touching the right elbow to the left thigh. And that twisting warrior interlock. Bringing the armpit more closely to the leg. Left hand behind back. There might be a couple of us who can get really steady in that left foot, and so steady in that left hip. Turn around that thigh bone. Instead of the thigh bone just kind of wagging under our pelvis, turn the pelvis, turn the body around that thigh bone. That predicate is, it's in the foot. It's the foot keeping us stably connected to the ground. Exactly. That inner leg thing, right? Inhale, unwind, hands under chest. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. The chest muscles are on as I'm pushing, and those chest muscles stretching. Active stretch. Exhale, downward dog. And then take a rest moment, or yeah, we'll set the knees down. Should have completed our sun. There might be some of us who feel very incomplete without finishing that sun. We're going to set up dolphin on the wall, leg up the wall. Let me say that again. We're going to set up dolphin with a leg up the wall. Not dolphin up the wall with a leg up. Let me just show. All right. So again, we're doing dolphin, the leg, pardon me, words. The wall is providing a touch point for the foot, support for the foot. So if you have that same wall space from before, here we go again. We're just working dolphin. And the thing I wanted to share today is that we need not collapse through these mid-ribs when we're weight-bearing doing inversions, that this area can be stretched and very, very active. So I hope that this is starting to get into those working and stretched mid-rib areas. So I like my dolphin set up within a couple inches of the baseboard. And then when I exhale, I like my feet, my heels, to be free of the baseboard. I don't feel jammed up too close. Because otherwise it feels a little funny when I take my leg up the wall. And we'll start with the left leg just for the fun of it. The left leg will go up the wall. Now in this leg up wall, I can play with reducing the amount of pressure in my right arm. I don't have to take the arm away, keep all three limbs on the ground. But I can still play that balancing act as you send the left thigh away from the ribs, lengthening, lengthening. So I want you to feel supported sufficiently that you can grow and lengthen your ribs away from your arm bones. It doesn't feel too collapsed there. Give it 1 or 2 more breaths and we'll take a rest. We'll set the left foot down, set the knees down for a moment. And here goes the other side. We've got our dolphin. Our knees are pressed off the ground. And this time we raise the right leg, placing it on the wall. I find there necessarily is a lot going on in my left foot, the ground foot. That left foot is doing so much to trigger, to help those abdominals keep me floating in this dolphin instead of working hard in the dolphin. That sole of foot, I find, has enormous connection to our core, all these supportive front side of body muscles. So we're getting lighter and lighter on the shoulders. The chest is engaged. The armpit muscles are engaged. Those funny diagonal abdominals around the ribs and the hips are engaged. Reach that right thigh away from the ribs. There it is. Yes. There it is. Yes. Ooh, I see organs getting space. One or two more breaths. And we'll set the foot down, the knees down. And we'll have a seat in shoelace or straddle. So if your knees are a little bit bothered by shoelace, you could take a straddle. I'm starting with my right ankle atop my left knee. One of the little collateral gifts of engaging the chest and the armpit and these abdominals up here is that it helps free up this middle of the back that many of us, like lots and lots of us, tend to crimp down on, compress, and hinge around. So it doesn't mean that we're pressing our chest in. We're just kind of wrapping. And it may even feel freer in the mid-back and the upper back. So we're going to take both arms up, just like we started, with the attempt of both engaging the chest, the armpit, and these obliques. Breathing into the sides and the back of the body. As I turn 45, either out over my right thigh and pigeon or out over my right thigh and straddle, whatever you're tolerating well today in your legs. And once I get to about that 45, and we may have moved a little bit further than the beginning of class, and pause right there. Keep breathing, feeling all of that wrapping up. It's strong. And just start to image twisting scissors. Start to image. Maybe there's another hand balancing move like that. Side crow. You can start to image scissors. And we'll place left elbow to right thigh, twisting toward the thigh or twisting over the right straightened leg. And release. We'll unwind, or we'll switch over to the other side. So if you're doing shoelace, it's left over right. If you're working in straddle, stay in straddle. We'll bring the elbows up shoulder width. And then turning to our left this time, about 45 or so. And then either touching that right elbow to your left thigh and twisting toward the thigh, or setting the hands down around the left leg if you're in straddle. Inhale, we'll unwind. Unwinding the legs or helping them together, and we'll lie back for Shavasana. So please, let's rest. And feel all around the lungs. Does it feel free around the lungs? Does it feel something else? Do you feel movement or crowdedness? Or when you attune to the area, the space around the lungs, what do you sense in your body? Let the Ujjayi completely go. So relaxing that area in the throat that helps the creation of Ujjayi sound. And when you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side and press up. Namaste.